Chapter 3687. Don't underestimate me.
On the origin continent, internal conflicts are allowed, but harming ordinary lives is not. Whoever violates this will face my merciless wrath.
Lin Moyu's voice, imbued with the power of the Great Dao, spread across the entire origin continent through the authority granted by the mandate of heaven. Billions of living beings, humans, demons, sea creatures, dragons, insects, and spirit beasts, heard his words without exception. Language barriers were irrelevant, as everyone heard the message in their native tongue. Lin Moyu used the heavenly speech, under which there was no such thing as not understanding. At that moment, thunderstorms swept across the origin continent, with lightning striking everywhere. The Great Dao used its own method to inform everyone that Lin Moyu's words were true. Ordinary lives were often seen as insignificant by some strong cultivators. Killing millions wouldn't even raise an eyebrow. However, Lin Moyu understood that ordinary lives were the true foundation of the origin continent. The Question Dao sect's actions had already led to a severe decline in their fortune, and Lin Moyu's appearance was essentially a heavenly punishment. Therefore, destroying the Question Dao sect wouldn't incur punishment from the heavens. However, many self-proclaimed strong cultivators didn't understand this. The world-burning fire continued to rage, and the Question Dao sect's strong members had all been killed. The countless vengeful spirits in the black cloud were also being refined. By now, nearly 9 out of 10 of the Question Dao sect's strong members had died. Lin Moyu extinguished the world-burning fire and flew towards the Question Dao sect's mountain gate. This was just a branch. Many more disciples remained at the main gate. Those disciples might not have participated in the war or stained their hands with blood. But this didn't matter. They would still die. They had made the choice to join the Question Dao sect, and everyone must take responsibility for their choices. If they were innocent, then the millions of ordinary people who died were even more so. The Question Dao sect was finished, and everyone knew Lin Moyu wouldn't spare anyone. Lin Moyu revealed his ruthlessness to all, showing them what true dominance meant. Upon arriving at the Question Dao sect, he released over 100 divine runes, weaving them into a simple confinement formation. The sea skeleton god general then charged in, killing everyone. The protective formation collapsed, the mountains crumbled, and the sect was overturned. Blood flowed like rivers within the Question Dao sect, and nothing remained. A fire ignited, not ordinary flames but those imbued with the Great Dao's power. The fire burned with blood as its base and souls as its fuel, consuming the entire Question Dao sect and erasing its legacy. After hundreds of years, only historical records would remain of the Question Dao sect. Lin Moyu completed his task and slowly disappeared, as if he had never appeared. His actions and words left an indelible mark. The warring forces became more cautious, ensuring that ordinary lives were evacuated before engaging in battles. If evacuation was impossible, they would take their battles to the skies, changing the battlefield. Many ordinary people set up altars in their homes to honor Lin Moyu, viewing him as a benefactor. The entire origin continent underwent a rapid transformation. In the external Great Dao realms, various Great Dao cultivators looked at each other in surprise. Only after reflecting did they understand what Lin Moyu had done.
Good grief, Lin Moyu's thoughts are deeper than we imagined. Yes, I only realize now that he wasn't acting impulsively but was taking advantage of the situation. The Question Dao sect lost its people and fortune, and Lin Moyu used the Great Dao's momentum to eliminate them. By announcing this to the world, all ordinary people will remember Lin Moyu and thank him. The power of faith. Although they are just ordinary people, their numbers are overwhelming. Lin Moyu will gain immense faith power from this. Could it be that his rapid cultivation is also related to the power of faith?
These Great Dao cultivators speculated about Lin Moyu's intentions, with various theories emerging. In their eyes, Lin Moyu became a cunning and unpredictable figure. His terror wasn't just in his ruthlessness but also in his strategic thinking. This made them even more convinced that they should avoid conflicts with Lin Moyu before his mandate of heaven ended, as there would be no benefits. After handling the Question Dao sect, Lin Moyu returned to the central continent and left a message for Antares before returning to the Void Realm.
The power of faith? Don't underestimate me.
Lin Moyu couldn't help but smile when he heard the great Dao cultivator's words. He had indeed acted in accordance with circumstances, but it wasn't for the power of faith. He was driven by karma and the mandate of heaven. The mandate of heaven tasked him with guarding the central continent and the origin continent. Ordinary lives were the foundation of the origin continent, and since the Question Dao sect had harmed this foundation, they naturally faced punishment. He also took the opportunity to sever karma with the Question Dao sect, testing whether it would ease his bottleneck. Unfortunately, the change in karma didn't alleviate his bottleneck. Lin Moyu realized that his obstruction was indeed a karma issue. The remaining problem was his great thousand worlds. Being the master of the world was a double-edged sword. While it allowed him to lead the world's development and utilize its power, the world could also become a hindrance to his progress. If the world wasn't strong enough, his own advancement would be limited. This was his current situation. The great thousand worlds had led him into a bottleneck, making it difficult to progress. Understanding the problem, Lin Moyu couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions.
In the past, it was because my realm wasn't high enough that my techniques couldn't be refined. This time, it's reversed. Because the great thousand worlds aren't strong enough, I can't advance my realm.
Knowing the problem, he needed to find a solution. The only way was to strengthen the great thousand worlds, but this wasn't something that could be done easily. There were 3 methods to make the great thousand worlds stronger. First, with time, the great thousand worlds would naturally evolve and grow stronger. If he could guide this process, he could accelerate the evolution, but even then, the speed would be measured in millions or tens of millions of years. The second method was to refine other worlds, using their world crystals to strengthen the great thousand worlds. However, refining other worlds wasn't easy. He would need to find a world and its core, and then use the world-burning fire for refinement. If the world was too powerful, not only would he fail to refine it, but he would also face danger. Even if the world was weak, it would contain billions of lives. Without any grudges, Lin Moyu couldn't bring himself to kill them. It wasn't that he was soft-hearted. It was just that doing so would incur endless karma, potentially leading to future misfortunes. Ideally, he would find a world without life or one that had already died but hadn't fully collapsed. Such worlds were extremely rare. This left only the third method, Chapter 3688. Lin Moyu learned a lesson. Lin Moyu's soul flew through the void realm, and as his realm improved, his connection to his soul world grew stronger. Now, in the Golden Furnace Great Soul domain, he could clearly sense his soul world from any corner, even transmitting some information. He flew towards an unknown direction, pondering the previous issues.
In over 100 years, using the Seeking Realm symbol, I've found 60 worlds and clashed with 8 Dao Lords. None of these worlds met my requirements.
Lin Moyu realized that the worlds he sought were too rare, so he had to consider the third method. Apart from natural evolution and absorbing world crystals, he had another way to evolve his great thousand worlds, by evolving enough great Daos within it. Great Daos were the inevitable result of a world's growth and evolution, determining all the rules in the world. Normally, the stronger a world was, the stronger its great Daos would be. Conversely, stronger great Daos could also nourish a world, making it more robust. When unable to absorb enough world crystals, enhancing the great Daos within the world was another viable option. Lin Moyu already had a method to do this. In his great thousand worlds, there were many illusory bodies carrying the great Dao insights he had gained from the origin ancestral land. These insights were brought into the great thousand worlds to accelerate the evolution of the great Daos. Additionally, there were some liches that also carried great Daos, helping the great thousand worlds evolve more great Daos. Compared to the illusory bodies, the liches carried more pure and powerful great Daos. Previously, Lin Moyu was satisfied with his approach, but now he realized it was far from enough. Lin Moyu concluded his shortcomings.
The number of great Daos is insufficient. There are too few great Daos, whether they are from the origin continent or branch great Daos. The great Daos and the great thousand worlds are not strong enough. I need to find a way to enhance them. Relying solely on my own insights won't work. The fastest method should be to use elemental liches.
Having clarified his thoughts, Lin Moyu knew what he needed to do next. He would utilize the properties of elemental liches to strengthen his great Daos. Before that, he had to find suitable materials to summon elements. The materials couldn't be of a low level. They had to be at least at the Great Dao realm, or the carried Great Daos would be insufficient, and evolution would remain slow. Moreover, after using elemental liches to evolve Great Daos, he would have to give up those liches. The number of elemental liches was limited. Even now, as a third-tier soul Great Dao realm cultivator, he could only possess 30 at a time. The external Great Dao realms on the origin continent must have suitable Great Dao realm materials, but he couldn't access them yet. So, Lin Moyu turned his attention to the Void Realm and other worlds. The Void Realm also had Great Dao realm materials, though they were scarce. He needed to find a way to enter other worlds and locate suitable materials without invading or engaging in a Great Dao contest. He wanted to find a suitable method. As Lin Moyu's mind moved slightly, some elemental liches in the Great Thousand Worlds dispersed. Their powers transformed into Great Daos within the Great Thousand Worlds, and the positions of the elemental liches were vacated. The elemental liches that had helped him greatly were now abandoned, and Lin Moyu felt a pang of reluctance. However, he had no choice. Sometimes sacrifices were necessary for further progress. Over 100 years, Lin Moyu had found many worlds, some strong and some weak. In the stronger worlds, there were Dao Lords, and he had clashed with several of them. Since it wasn't a great Dao contest, they hadn't fought to the death. However, none of these Dao Lords were easy to talk to, and it was impossible to form friendships. Those Dao Lords knew that they came from different worlds, and at their level, a final battle was inevitable. Such friendships were pointless. Lin Moyu quickly found another world, one he had visited 4 years ago. Back then, he encountered a Dao Lord who wasn't human but a lion-like humanoid from a special species. In the Void Realm, there were countless worlds, and while humans dominated most of them, other species were also numerous. Lin Moyu wasn't surprised by this. This time, he returned and met the lion-like Dao Lord again. Lin Moyu waved his hand to dispel the chaotic mist, gazing at the Dao Lord from 10,000 meters away. Since they weren't enemies, and the origin continent's great Dao power couldn't reach here, they could communicate through their souls.
You're back.
The lion-like Dao Lord's voice echoed in Lin Moyu's ear. Lin Moyu spoke calmly.
Lin Moyu greets you, Dao friend. May I ask how you are addressed?
His tone was neither humble nor arrogant, calm as water, because he didn't know the Dao Lord's temperament or the customs of that world. In some worlds, smiling could be seen as a challenge, while being fierce might be a sign of friendship. Without knowing the customs, it was better to show no expression. The lion-like Dao Lord sized up Lin Moyu.
You and I come from different worlds. One day, we will have a battle. Why bother knowing each other's names?
Lin Moyu replied.
Fate is unpredictable. Who knows if we'll be friends or enemies in the future? Even if we become enemies, it doesn't hinder our friendship now.
After a moment of contemplation, he continued.
I am Jean Shi, the Golden Lion.
The conversation finally made progress, and with this beginning, the rest would be easier to discuss. Lin Moyu asked,
Golden Lion Dao friend, may I ask why you guard the outside of your world? I have no hostile intentions towards your world. I'm just curious.
Along his journey, Lin Moyu had encountered several worlds where Dao Lords guarded the outside. He didn't understand why they did this, as any invasion from the Void Realm would naturally alert all Dao Lords in the world. Moreover, such invasions from the Void Realm weren't the greatest threats. True invasions came from the real world. However, several Dao Lords did the same thing, so there must be a reason. Lin Moyu asked this question both to understand the reason and to build rapport for his future plans. The Golden Lion Dao Lord looked at Lin Moyu.
You don't know? Doesn't your world have Dao Lords guarding it?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
No, please enlighten me.
The Golden Lion Dao Lord observed Lin Moyu.
You're only a third-tier soul. Not knowing is normal. It seems your world isn't strong enough yet.
Lin Moyu remained silent, implicitly acknowledging this. The origin continent was strong enough, with many Dao Lords, but the Golden Lion Dao Lord's words didn't require him to show weakness. Sometimes, admitting weakness could lead to greater benefits and make the Golden Lion Dao Lord less cautious. The Golden Lion Dao Lord explained,
Great Dao contests often mark the beginning of world conflicts. Dao Lords guard the outside of their worlds to prepare. If a strong enemy comes, we can take our world away to avoid disaster. This world is strong enough, but there must be even stronger worlds. It's a serious matter that requires caution.
Listening to the Golden Lion Dao Lord's explanation, Lin Moyu understood. He bowed towards the Golden Lion Dao Lord.
Thank you, Dao friend, for your guidance. I have learned a lesson.
Chapter 3689. Transaction. The Golden Lion Dao Lord was cautious, revealing the strength of his world through his words. He also told Lin Moyu that if there were dangers, they could move their entire world to safety. This way, some people wouldn't be able to locate their real world by tracking its position in the Void Realm. This made Lin Moyu think of the Origin Continent. In the past, when the Origin Continent was extremely powerful, perhaps it was too confident and didn't need Dao Lords to guard it. It might have even welcomed attacks from other worlds, planning to counterattack. If that were true, such extreme confidence would have dealt a severe blow to the Origin Continent, taking thousands of years to recover. The fact that it survived until now was already a testament to its good fortune. Perhaps seeing Lin Moyu's third-tier soul cultivation and knowing he wasn't there for a great Dao contest, the Golden Lion Dao Lord was willing to converse with him. However, even so, he only slightly relaxed his guard. It was difficult for beings from different worlds to truly trust each other. Not immediately attacking each other was already a good start. After chatting for a while, 10,000 meters apart, the Golden Lion Dao Lord gradually relaxed his vigilance. Lin Moyu said,
I'll be honest, I came specifically to find you, Dao friend.
The Golden Lion Dao Lord's eyes narrowed slightly.
I know you must have a purpose. Speak.
Lin Moyu explained.
Due to certain reasons, I can't obtain Great Dao Realm materials, but I need them for my cultivation.
The Golden Lion Dao Lord scrutinized Lin Moyu with a skeptical gaze.
Great Dao Realm materials? Will any Great Dao Realm materials do?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Of course not. Considering my realm, I have some requirements. At least the materials should match my level. As for the properties of the materials, I'm not particular. However, the rarer the materials, the higher the price I can offer.
The Golden Lion Dao Lord spoke in a low voice.
You and I come from different worlds, and our Great Dao rules differ. Our materials might not be usable for you, and what you offer might not be needed by us.
Lin Moyu looked at the Golden Lion Dao Lord.
If I'm not mistaken, your soul has been injured and hasn't healed, right?
The Golden Lion Dao Lord's gaze turned sharp, exuding a dangerous aura. His soul had indeed been injured and hadn't healed, but he had hidden it well. Even other Dao Lords wouldn't be able to see through it, so how did Lin Moyu discover this? Lin Moyu said,
Don't misunderstand, I have a special ability to see if a soul is damaged. Your soul is injured, though you've hidden it well. It's still visible to me. In the vast worlds, there are countless unique abilities. You shouldn't be surprised that I have this ability, and I mean no harm.
As he spoke, Lin Moyu tossed a spiritual flower across 10,000 meters to the Golden Lion Dao Lord.
This flower can heal your soul's injury. If you don't believe me, you can test it on someone else who has a similar injury.
The Golden Lion Dao Lord was filled with doubt, but the prospect of healing his soul's injury was highly appealing. Lin Moyu's expression remained calm. He knew the Golden Lion Dao Lord would definitely try it. The Golden Lion Dao Lord's soul injury wasn't simple. It came from the Black Blood Realm. Having dealt with the Black Blood Realm multiple times, Lin Moyu could recognize it at a glance. If it were an ordinary soul injury, the Golden Lion Dao Lord would have recovered by now. This also meant that the Golden Lion Dao Lord's world had clashed with the Black Blood Realm, and more than just him were injured. The Golden Lion Dao Lord created a clone, sending it into his world with the spiritual flower. He himself remained guarding the entrance. Lin Moyu sat cross-legged in the void, patiently waiting. Half a day later, a fierce soul flame appeared behind the Golden Lion Dao Lord, and another Dao Lord flew out from his world, covering millions of miles to reach the Golden Lion Dao Lord's side. This Dao Lord was also lion-like, with a similar appearance to the Golden Lion, but his body was silver. He asked immediately,
"Where did this flower come from?"
The Golden Lion Dao Lord glanced at Lin Moyu 10,000 meters away.
"It was given by Lin Dao friend."
The Silver Dao Lord turned to Lin Moyu.
"Lin Dao friend, do you have more of these flowers?"
From his tone and expression, he seemed more enthusiastic than the Golden Lion. He slowly opened his eyes.
"I do."
The Golden Lion Dao Lord suddenly growled.
"Ain, be quiet."
The Dao Lord called Ain obeyed immediately, closing his mouth. The Golden Lion Dao Lord asked,
"Ain, who used the flower?"
Ain replied,
"Azi used it, and his injury has healed."
The Golden Lion Dao Lord whispered.
"Are you certain?"
Ain nodded.
"Of course, he's already recovered. He should be here soon."
The Golden Lion Dao Lord's gaze became complex, clearly realizing that Lin Moyu hadn't deceived him. Indeed, shortly after, several more Dao Lords arrived. Each of them was lion-like with different body colors. Their names were based on their colors: gold, silver, purple, black, yellow, and green. The 5 lion-like Dao Lords stood together. Lin Moyu thought to himself,
"This world is quite interesting."
Among the 5 Dao Lords, all had soul injuries except for Az. His injury had healed, and Lin Moyu could still sense the aura of the spiritual flower on him. After a discussion, the Golden Lion Dao Lord spoke up.
"Lin Dao friend, how many more of these flowers do you have?"
Lin Moyu replied,
"I have a few more, but not many. I'd like to exchange them for some materials."
The Golden Lion Dao Lord nodded and relayed Lin Moyu's request to the others. Immediately, 2 of them produced several materials. Materials that could be brought into the Void Realm were never of a low level and usually possessed virtual properties. Purely virtual materials were extremely rare. Most were a mix of virtual and real properties, which was the case with the materials they offered. The Golden Lion Dao Lord waved his hand, and several materials flew towards Lin Moyu.
"These Dao stones come from various great Daos and have different properties. All are above the 3rd tier level. Do you find them acceptable, Lin Dao friend?"
Lin Moyu examined the Dao stones, which came from different great Daos and had various properties. After observing them for a while, he said,
"May I try one?"
The Golden Lion Dao Lord nodded.
"You may."
Since Lin Moyu had already received a spiritual flower, his request to try one wasn't excessive. Lin Moyu picked up a red Dao stone, which possessed fire attributes from the Fire Great Dao. It was at the 3rd tier soul level, making it an extremely fine material. Although the Great Dao rules differed slightly from world to world, their fundamentals remained the same, all originating from the origin ancestral land. Lin Moyu summoned an elemental lich, and gray flames rose from his palm. The Dao stone slowly transformed and melted in the flames, eventually giving birth to an elemental lich covered in flames before everyone's eyes. 3690. The Black Blood Realm's whereabouts. The red Dao stone transformed into an elemental lich, named the Great Dao Fire Spirit. It was enveloped in flames only fist-sized, and looked somewhat adorable. Great Dao Fire Spirit. Realm 3rd tier Great Dao. Rank, perfect. Lin Moyu's face showed a hint of a smile. What mattered wasn't the strength of the elements or the lich but the great Dao power it contained. This could complement his great 1,000 worlds, making the great Daos within it more complete and powerful. In this moment, Lin Moyu gained a deeper understanding of his techniques. The elemental lich technique was particularly special among his summoning arts. Other summoning techniques had a common trait: enormous numbers. In contrast, he could only summon 30 elemental liches. Compared to the skeleton god general's billions, 30 was a tiny number. Therefore, elemental liches couldn't rely on quantity. They had to rely on quality or other aspects. Lin Moyu once thought that if he could obtain top-tier Great Dao Realm materials early on and summon a first-tier Great Dao Realm elemental lich, he might dominate the Great Dao Realm. However, he later realized that obtaining such materials was even harder than finding first-tier Soul Great Dao Realm materials. Even if he summoned a first-tier Great Dao Realm elemental lich, it wasn't guaranteed to truly protect him. The fallen Sword Star Lord's elemental lich, which wasn't even at the Great Dao Realm, was already weak. Now, Lin Moyu understood that elemental liches, apart from being combat tools with magical abilities, had an irreplaceable ability to carry and complete Great Daos. Their limited number was due to this ability being too extraordinary, requiring balance in other aspects. The Great Dao of Heaven and Earth emphasizes balance. While there can be extraordinary things, there won't be anything extremely unbalanced. Lin Moyu looked at the Golden Lion Dao Lord.
These materials can be exchanged.
His words brought joy to the Golden Lion Dao Lord and the others. For these Dao Lords, materials were nothing compared to healing their soul injuries. As long as their injuries could be healed, external possessions were insignificant. The Golden Lion Dao Lord asked calmly,
"How do we exchange them?"
Since a trade was possible, the next step was to negotiate prices. They wouldn't think that lacking materials would be exchanged for just one flower. Lin Moyu said,
"For third-tier soul Great Dao materials like this, 100 pieces can be exchanged for one flower. For second-tier soul materials, 10 pieces for one flower, and for first-tier soul materials, 1 for 1.
Lin Moyu offered a fairly reasonable price. Although these top-tier Great Dao realm materials were rare, their scarcity couldn't compare to that of the spiritual flowers. If these Dao Lords had a way to heal their injuries, they wouldn't have waited until now. Even Lin Moyu could offer an exorbitant price, but he didn't. The Golden Lion Dao Lord was visibly surprised. He had expected Lin Moyu to demand a high price, planning to haggle. Noticing Lin Moyu's reasonable offer, he felt somewhat embarrassed not to haggle. Just as he was about to agree, Lin Moyu spoke again.
"I have another request based on this foundation."
The Golden Lion Dao Lord replied politely.
"Please speak."
Lin Moyu said,
"I have specific requirements for the types of Great Dao materials. For the same material, I will only accept 1 piece. For example, for a third-tier Great Dao realm material like the one earlier, I will only accept up to 100 pieces. Since the flowers are limited, I must set this condition. Please understand."
Now, Lin Moyu had the upper hand. It wasn't him seeking to exchange, but the others seeking him out. Everyone knew this, and Lin Moyu's lack of excessive demands was already generous. This small request was naturally acceptable. After discussing, the Golden Lion Dao Lord and the others made a decision.
"All right, we can agree to your request. Please wait while we gather the materials."
Lin Moyu nodded.
"No rush, take your time."
Except for the Golden Lion Dao Lord, the other Dao Lords immediately returned to their world to gather Great Dao materials. Seeming to feel that their injuries were about to heal, the Golden Lion Dao Lord's gaze softened slightly. Lin Moyu asked,
"If I'm not mistaken, your injury was caused by the Black Blood Realm, right?"
The Golden Lion Dao Lord's expression changed.
"You also know about the Black Blood Realm?"
Lin Moyu replied,
"The Black Blood Realm once invaded my world."
The Golden Lion Dao Lord was visibly surprised. His eyes filled with thought as if recalling distant memories. After a while, he spoke again.
"At that time, they were migrating their world. It was as if they were passing by. They wanted to devour us, using our world as nourishment. We fought desperately to escape."
In the vast Void Realm, the Black Blood Realm's migration coincidentally encountered the Golden Lion Dao Lord's world. This event, with odds less than 1 in a billion, showed that the Golden Lion Dao Lord's world was quite unlucky. Lin Moyu roughly understood the situation. It seemed that after the Black Blood Realm failed to invade the origin continent, they feared their own world would be invaded and decided to migrate. Lin Moyu asked,
"Do you know where the Black Blood Realm went?"
The Golden Lion Dao Lord shook his head.
I'm not very clear. They left in a hurry, seemingly fleeing. Judging from their route, they should be leaving the Golden Furnace Great Soul Domain.
Leaving the Golden Furnace Great Soul Domain was a decisive move, fitting the Black Blood Realm's nature. Lin Moyu said,
Please don't trouble yourself to guide me.
In the Void Realm, there was no concept of direction. Whether it was a large or small soul domain, they were all constantly moving and changing. The movement of small soul domains was determined by large ones, and the direction of large soul domains was decided by the 9 primordial origin virtual treasures. Each time these treasures resonated, the positions of the soul domains would change. It was possible that the Golden Furnace Great Soul Domain was once next to the Jimmu Great Soul Domain, but after a resonance, it changed to another. However, Lin Moyu believed that the Golden Lion Dao Lord, as a Dao Lord, would have a way. The Golden Lion Dao Lord thought for a moment.
I can try, but I'm not sure if it will work.
Lin Moyu said,
Regardless of the outcome, I thank you in advance.
He was using his injury to seek the Black Blood Realm's whereabouts. A great Dao faintly appeared, and Lin Moyu was surprised.
The Causality Dao.
He hadn't expected the Golden Lion Dao Lord to know the Causality Dao. However, upon reflection, it didn't feel right. If the Golden Lion Dao Lord truly understood the Causality Dao, his soul wouldn't have been injured, or he would have recovered by now. Lin Moyu observed carefully and reached a correct conclusion.
It's not the Causality Dao. He's just using a secret technique to touch upon a hint of the Causality Dao.
Chapter 3691. His Own Path. The Golden Lion Dao Lord's secret technique formed a faint light that shot into the void and disappeared. Then, a crystal appeared in his hand, with countless facets pointing in numerous directions. The Golden Lion Dao Lord handed the crystal to Lin Moyu.
This is the Causality Crystal. You can use it to find directions, but it can only be used 10 times. After that, it will self-destruct.
Lin Moyu accepted the Causality Crystal and sincerely thanked the Golden Lion Dao Lord.
I appreciate this, and I will remember your kindness.
He didn't give the Golden Lion Dao Lord a spiritual flower, even though he could have. Doing so would have turned their interaction into a transaction, changing its nature. The Golden Lion Dao Lord asked,
Lin Dao friend, are you seeking the Black Blood Realm to cause them trouble?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Whether it's me personally or my world, we have a blood feud with the Black Blood Realm. If there's an opportunity, we will certainly avenge it.
The Golden Lion Dao Lord didn't dissuade him, only whispering.
The Black Blood Realm is treacherous. If they hadn't been forced to migrate back then, our world would have fallen.
Suddenly, he realized.
The Black Blood Realm was defeated by a powerful world back then. Could that world be yours?
Lin Moyu didn't deny it.
It wasn't just the Black Blood Realm that was repelled. There were also the Heavenly God Realm and several weaker worlds.
The Golden Lion Dao Lord said,
My strength is limited, and I can't offer much help. I can only wish you success.
The Black Blood Realm was an enemy to them as well, but he was aware that his world wasn't a match for the Black Blood Realm. Even a severely damaged Black Blood Realm could destroy them, so they never thought of seeking revenge. Lin Moyu understood his thinking. It was a wise choice to prioritize self-preservation. As a Dao Lord, one had to consider the entire world, not just oneself. It was now certain that the Black Blood Realm had left the Golden Furnace Great Soul Domain. With the Causality Crystal, Lin Moyu had a chance to find it. However, it wasn't the right time yet. With his current strength, going after the Black Blood Realm would be suicidal. About a day later, several Dao Lords, including Ain and Az, returned. They brought back a large amount of materials all above the third-tier Great Dao Realm. Each of them had collected materials independently, resulting in some duplication. The Dao Lords categorized and counted the materials based on their properties and quality. In the end, they had 481 pieces of third-tier Soul Great Dao materials and 59 pieces of second-tier Soul Great Dao materials. Lin Moyu gave them 14 spiritual flowers, enough to heal their injuries. To verify the flower's effect, Ain activated one and was immediately healed. Their injuries were almost fully recovered, and the flowers easily handled the remaining damage. Lin Moyu asked,
"Are you satisfied, Dao friends?"
The Golden Lion Dao Lord replied,
"Thank you, Lin Dao friend. We are very satisfied with the exchange."
Lin Moyu smiled.
"That's good. I'll take my leave now. We'll meet again if fate allows it."
The Golden Lion Dao Lord didn't detain him.
"Lin Dao friend, farewell. If you need anything, come back to find us."
Lin Moyu joked.
"If I run out of materials, I'll come back with a thick face. But by then, I don't know if you'll still need flowers."
The Golden Lion Dao Lord laughed.
"No worries. If we're friends, we don't necessarily need to exchange things."
Lin Moyu could sense that the Dao Lords in this world were kind and had peaceful mindsets, not fond of conflict. However, as Dao Lords, they had to fight for their world. After Lin Moyu left, he returned to his soul world. This time, his gains were substantial. He transformed all the Great Dao materials into elemental liches, which then merged into the Great Thousand Worlds, enhancing its Great Daos and driving its evolution. As the Great Thousand Worlds grew stronger, Lin Moyu's restricted cultivation level might be broken through. This was the result Lin Moyu had deduced, though it was still uncertain. Returning to his soul world, Lin Moyu immediately entered the Great Thousand Worlds. It seemed to sense his return, as the entire Great Thousand Worlds radiated joy. To Lin Moyu, the Great Thousand Worlds was like a newborn child waiting to be nurtured. He began summoning elemental liches using the materials he had obtained. One by one, elemental liches with diverse properties were summoned and immediately merged into the Great Thousand Worlds, becoming its Great Daos. Previously, he had used illusory bodies to carry his insights into the Great Thousand Worlds, laying the foundation for its Great Daos. However, his personal insights were limited and superficial. Even with the illumination of the yin-yang origin, it would take a long time to accumulate more. From that moment on, his cultivation limit was tied to the Great Thousand Worlds. This was his own path. Lin Moyu couldn't wait that long and had to find another way. Using elemental liches to complete the Great Daos was the method he thought of. The elemental liches drove the evolution of the Great Daos, and the Great Thousand Worlds rumbled continuously. Lin Moyu could feel the Great Thousand Worlds growing stronger, and his stagnant cultivation showed a slight improvement.
"Indeed, it's effective."
Lin Moyu was delighted, realizing that his plan was correct. As long as the Great Thousand Worlds grew stronger, he could continue to break through. One by one, the elemental liches strengthened existing Great Daos in the Great Thousand Worlds and added new ones that didn't originally exist. Thus, the Great Daos in the Great Thousand Worlds rapidly grew stronger and more numerous. The strength of a world largely depends on the intensity and number of its Great Daos. The more powerful and numerous they are, the stronger the world becomes, allowing it to accommodate more. Different worlds and Dao Lords varied greatly in strength. Just a day later, all the Great Dao materials obtained were transformed into elemental liches and merged into the Great Thousand Worlds. Lin Moyu's aura surged, and his soul world radiated brilliant light, visible through the gaps in the world tree. The bottleneck was shattered, and Lin Moyu finally advanced from the third-tier soul to the early second-tier soul. At this time, the Great Daos in the Great Thousand Worlds permeated everything, influencing all the Middle Thousand Worlds and Small Thousand Worlds. Under the influence of these powerful Great Daos, the Middle Thousand Worlds grew stronger, and the evolution of the Small Thousand Worlds accelerated.
"My path shouldn't be wrong. I won't rely on Great Daos or become a Dao Lord. I'll walk my own path. When my Great Thousand Worlds are complete, its Great Daos will be my Great Daos. I won't be a Dao Lord. I will be the life of the world."
Lin Moyu's heart was filled with ambition. He flew back into the Void Realm, with the Seeking Realm symbol leading the way, searching for the next world neighbor. His eyes had become incredibly determined, and his Dao heart was unshakable. Perhaps this was a path no one had ever taken, but this time he was determined to see it through. "I'd like to update all the Dao names. What would you all prefer they be called? I'm getting tired of constantly renaming them. For example, we have the Undying Immortality and Undead Dao, Karma, Causality, and Cause and Effect Dao. Chapter 3692. Re-encountering Shen Chen. The seeking realm symbol flew through the void realm, searching for the next world. In his small soul domain, Lin Moyu had many real worlds, but he wasn't familiar with each one's situation. He could only find them one by one. For him, the first time he directly approached the Golden Lion Dao Lord's world was mainly because they had injured souls, and he could use the spiritual flowers as leverage. As for what the next world would be like or whether they would be as easy to talk to, it was hard to say. Previously, Lin Moyu hadn't had any needs, so even when he clashed with other Dao Lords, he only fought briefly and didn't go all out. Now, things were different. He had confirmed that his path was correct, so the nature of his actions changed. If the other party couldn't communicate properly, he would have to use force.
Anyone who blocks my way is an enemy.
Just like the great Dao contest between Dao Lords, where they fought to the death without personal grudges, all for the sake of their great Daos. This was the causality of the great Daos, an inescapable fate from the moment one embarked on the cultivation path. Even if Lin Moyu didn't want to become a Dao Lord, he couldn't escape this causality. His great thousand worlds needed to grow quickly, requiring the power of other worlds. A day later, guided by the seeking realm symbol, Lin Moyu found another world. Before he could approach, massive forces dispersed the chaotic mist, causing the virtual beasts within to flee in panic, fearing they would be killed if they were slow.
Someone is fighting.
Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and he quickly followed the commotion. His gaze focused, and he saw a familiar figure.
It's him. He actually found this place.
Shen Chen cultivated the heavy water great Dao and had reached the high stage of the first-tier soul, making him one of the top figures in the origin continent. He was strong enough to rival some branch Dao Lords. Previously, Lin Moyu had helped Shen Chen find the heavy water great Dao, and Shen Chen had been searching for other worlds along this path. This process was difficult and long. Lin Moyu hadn't seen Shen Chen again after that, and with the Void Realm experiencing tidal storms, he thought Shen Chen had fallen during those events. Unexpectedly, they met again here. When Lin Moyu saw Shen Chen's opponent, his eyes turned sharp. Shen Chen's adversary was a Dao Lord with the lower body of a long snake and an upper body resembling a large, flat lizard. It was a member of the Lizard God tribe from the Lizard God realm. They were once subordinates of the Heavenly God realm and one of the worlds that invaded the origin continent. Lin Moyu flew over, his eyes filled with killing intent, but he didn't intervene. This was Shen Chen's great Dao contest, and he shouldn't interfere. Both sides were cultivating the heavy water great Dao, transforming it into countless arrow-like water droplets that flew through the void. The great Daos were the same, and their methods were similar. Each water arrow was as heavy as 1,000 kilograms, capable of crushing mountains. In the void, billions of these water arrows clashed, with neither side yielding. Lin Moyu observed that their strengths were evenly matched, making it difficult to determine the winner. His gaze swept past them to a nearby world barrier, which belonged to the Lizard God realm.
Why didn't I notice this was the Lizard God realm when I passed by before?
He hadn't entered the world then because he didn't need to. He just glanced and left. He had seen many living beings and strong cultivators in that world. Now that he knew it was the Lizard God realm, there was no need for courtesy. He wouldn't need to negotiate material exchanges. He could simply enter and take what he wanted, just as they had done to the origin continent in the past. Even though Lin Moyu wanted to transcend the origin continent and become the master of his own world, he never denied being a member of the human race from the origin continent. Some causalities were his to bear. Lin Moyu waited for Shen Chen and his opponent to determine the outcome. In his view, their strengths were similar, but Shen Chen wasn't a Dao Lord, and this was the opponent's home turf, putting Shen Chen at a slight disadvantage. Halfway through the fight, Shen Chen suddenly deployed a treasure. The treasure transformed into a pool of heavy water, and Shen Chen entered it. His aura surged, and his power rapidly increased. Although not a Dao Lord, he temporarily possessed the might of one. Lin Moyu's heart stirred. Shen Chen cultivated the heavy water great Dao, and this pool of water was the essence of the heavy water Great Dao from the origin continent. Shen Chen had managed to use the heavy water Great Dao, allowing him to become a Dao Lord-like existence temporarily. After deploying the heavy water Great Dao, Shen Chen gained the upper hand and began to overpower his opponent. The lizard god tribe's Dao Lord retreated step by step, letting out a deafening roar. The lizard god tribe's cry was unpleasant, not sharp but a nauseating feeling that reached the soul. Even Lin Moyu, as a bystander, was slightly affected, while Shen Chen stumbled back 3 steps. After the roar, the lizard god tribe's Dao Lord's aura plummeted, and he turned to flee back into the lizard god realm. Shen Chen didn't pursue. He simply sighed and recalled the heavy water Great Dao. Lin Moyu flew over to greet him.
Shen Dao friend, we meet again.
Shen Chen saw Lin Moyu and couldn't help but smile.
It's Lin Dao friend, what a coincidence.
In the vast void realm, their encounter was both coincidental and fateful. Lin Moyu asked,
Have you been in the void realm since we last parted?
Shen Chen nodded.
Yes, I've been here. After you helped me find the heavy water Great Dao, I followed it and found another world. I didn't expect that world to be extremely strong, with a Dao Lord equally powerful. I wasn't a match and had to retreat.
Lin Moyu said,
You managed to save your life, which is already a testament to your strength. How did you survive the tidal storms?
Shen Chen smiled wryly.
Don't even mention it. During the tidal storms, I was being pursued. It's funny, after my first defeat, I not only escaped but quickly found another world. I was extremely lucky to find a new world in such a short time. I thought I could become the Dao Lord of that world since it also had the heavy water Great Dao. However, I was too late. A new Dao Lord had emerged in that world. This new Dao Lord wasn't very strong, but I still lost to them in a battle. I was defeated by their heavy water Great Dao. I was injured and fled, and that person began to pursue me. They had a secret technique that could devour my heavenly path. I don't know how long I ran, but the tidal storms suddenly erupted, and that Dao Lord fell during the storms. I was lucky. I survived by using the heavy water Great Dao left behind by that Dao Lord. After the tidal storms, my injuries healed, and I tried to find that world again. However, the world had changed positions during the storms, and I couldn't find it. After that, I've been searching in the soul void until I found this world. Unfortunately, this Dao Lord is too cunning and always escapes back into their world. There are many strong cultivators inside, so I didn't dare enter and have been stuck here.
Lin Moyu listened and then asked in a low voice,
Shen Dao friend, do you know that this world is the lizard god realm?
Chapter 3693. They won't come. The lizard god realm. Upon hearing these 3 words, Shen Chen suddenly erupted with a fierce killing intent. Previously, Shen Chen had given off a gentle impression, speaking calmly and unhurriedly. Even in life or death battles, he remained unchanged. However, now, just the mention of the lizard god realm made Shen Chen's killing intent boil over, which surprised Lin Moyu. Shen Chen seemed to grit his teeth, his voice filled with killing intent coming from deep within his soul.
I didn't expect it to be them. I've finally found them.
Lin Moyu asked,
Shen Dao friend, do you have a deep grudge against the lizard god realm?
Shen Chen replied in a low voice,
My family is from the origin continent. After I reached the Great Dao realm, I left my family and came to the Heavenly Water Dao sect in the Outer Great Dao. When the origin continent's catastrophe erupted, I fought alongside my sect but couldn't attend to anything else. After the catastrophe ended, I learned that my family had been destroyed by the lizard god realm.
Lin Moyu sighed.
I didn't know you were from the origin continent, Shen Dao friend. You must have.
Shen Chen was lost in thought.
I've thought about returning to find out, but back then, the origin continent was sealed, and I couldn't enter. I could only ask fellow Dao friends who fought on the origin continent to confirm that my family was gone. I once vowed that if I ever found the lizard god realm, I would annihilate it, leaving nothing behind.
Lin Moyu could sense Shen Chen's hatred for the lizard god realm. For someone like Shen Chen, who seemed like a refined gentleman, once he set his mind on killing, it would be hard to quench his anger. Lin Moyu asked,
In which continent was your family located?
Shen Chen replied,
The Xiannan continent. During the Origin Continent's catastrophe, the Xiannan continent sank, and my family was lost.
Lin Moyu's heart stirred. He knew more about the deeper situation of the Origin Continent's catastrophe than many others. He muttered to himself,
Back then, the 5 continents didn't sink because they were defeated. It was the Origin Continent's world will and great Dao power that intentionally submerged them. Although many died, some survivors were sent to other continents.
Hearing this, Shen Chen's eyes lit up.
Please, Lin Dao friend, tell me more.
Lin Moyu continued,
The heavenly sealing Dao Lord, with the absolute heaven sealing formation, sealed the heavenly God realm's army at the bottom of the boundary sea. The formation's base was the 5 heavenly poles. The heavenly sealing Dao Lord worked with the world will to relocate most of the survivors from the 5 continents. Later, humans migrated several times and eventually settled mostly in the southern continent. I remember that in the southern continent, within the Cold Water Holy Lands territory, there was a city called Nanshui City, and the main family there was surnamed Shen. Besides that, there are several sizable Shen families on the southern continent. Perhaps your family might still exist.
Lin Moyu's words gave Shen Chen hope. Shen Chen said,
Thank you, Lin Dao friend, but no matter what, I will annihilate the lizard god realm. For my family, for the Origin Continent, this hatred cannot be resolved.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Lin Moyu and Shen Dao friend share the same goal. Why don't we join forces and annihilate the lizard god realm?
Although Lin Moyu appeared to be only at the second-tier soul, Shen Chen could sense that he was unfathomable. At this moment, Shen Chen realized that since their last meeting, only a few hundred years had passed. A blink of an eye for him. Yet, Lin Moyu had advanced from the 7th-tier soul to his current level. This cultivation speed was terrifying. Therefore, Shen Chen didn't doubt Lin Moyu's suggestion.
If Lin Dao friend assists, I believe we can succeed.
Lin Moyu said,
My strength is limited. We can only try our best.
Shen Chen thought for a moment.
To ensure we're fully prepared, should I go back and bring a couple of Dao Lords?
Lin Moyu asked,
Are they Origin Continent Dao Lords or Branch Dao Lords?
Shen Chen replied,
Naturally, they are Branch Dao Lords. With my strength, I couldn't summon Origin Continent Dao Lords.
Lin Moyu sensed an underlying tone in Shen Chen's words. The Dao Lords Shen Chen knew weren't necessarily close friends, and it wouldn't be easy to get them to risk their lives here. Not everyone would care about the Origin Continent's grudge, especially after becoming a Dao Lord. They would focus more on their own great Dao contests, often ignoring external matters. Even if they came, there was a chance they might not contribute much. However, to annihilate an entire realm, without the help of Dao Lords, it would be very challenging with just their strength. Lin Moyu had self-awareness. In the Void Realm, he could kill Dao Lords, but if they wanted to escape, he couldn't stop them. It wasn't reliable. Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
I also know a few Dao Lords. Why don't I go invite them first? If they don't come, I'll bother Shen Dao friend later.
Shen Chen didn't refuse, which confirmed Lin Moyu's speculation that Shen Chen's relationship with these Dao Lords was complicated. The Lizard God Realm's location was now confirmed. Lin Moyu left the Skeleton God General there, along with Shen Chen, so he wasn't worried about them escaping. Moreover, relocating an entire realm wasn't easy and required the cooperation of many Dao Lords, so they likely wouldn't flee. He rushed back to his soul world at the fastest speed. 2 days later, he returned to his own soul world. In the central continent, Antares suddenly sensed Lin Moyu's awakening. He transmitted a message asking,
You said you wouldn't be back for a while?
Lin Moyu replied,
Something came up, and I need to return for a bit.
His gaze swept towards the outer Great Dao, where many strong cultivators stood. watching the origin continent without knowing what they were looking at. Lin Moyu saw numerous soul flames, with Dao lords hiding among them. He also found the person he was looking for. Question Heaven Dao Lord. Question Heaven Dao Lord, originally named Ouyang Wentian, had become a Dao Lord and was known as the Purple Thunder Dao Lord. He was hiding in the void, focusing on the origin continent. More accurately, he was watching over Lin Moyu himself. Ouyang Wentian had once said he would always guard Lin Moyu, and he kept his word. Finding his target, Lin Moyu's soul stirred, and he transmitted a message.
Question Heaven Dao Lord, can you help me with something?
Ouyang Wentian, hiding in the void, slightly raised an eyebrow.
Lin brother, you're back?
Lin Moyu said,
I'm back. I need to find the third ancestor. Can you help me bring him here?
Ouyang Wentian nodded.
All right, I'll go find him.
Lin Moyu saw Ouyang Wentian's soul flame disappear as he went to find the third ancestor. Antares asked quietly,
What else do you have to do here?
Lin Moyu chuckled.
It's not related to here. It's about something in the void realm.
Antares became increasingly curious.
What's happening in the soul void?
Lin Moyu didn't hide it.
I found the lizard god realm and planned to gather people to annihilate it.
Antares was startled.
You plan to launch a massacre directly in the soul void?
Lin Moyu saw Antares' surprise and asked,
What's wrong?
Antares said,
If those guys from the small soul domains come, there will be danger.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment and realized that Antares was referring to the kings of the small soul domains. In their view, these kings were very dangerous. Lin Moyu smiled lightly.
Don't worry, they won't come.